Okay, I think we can agree we're not going to win a drag race in an Alfa Romeo Spider. Not gonna happen, period. Maybe a bicycle. Maybe that's about it. Okay, however, Squadra is a performance company that we purchased their chip for our 91 Alfa Romeo Spider so we can get a little bit more power out of this car. Again, this is not to win a drag race. This is going to be more to what I like to call fill in the gaps of the performance, really more to get better throttle response, run through the RPMs a little quicker. That's what I'm looking for. I think it gives us 7-8 horsepower more. The cost is around 200, 212. I purchased the chip. They they're not sponsoring this video at all. So just want to, let everybody know that. And this is going to be an unbiased opinion of the chip in this 1991 Spider. So why don't we get cars moved around so we can start working on this car? All right, we have the parcel shelf off or out of the car. It's over there on the floor. And now you can see the computer system and relays and a red button that is not a self-destruct button. All right, there's 2 nuts that hold the computer in place. We'll take those off. We'll remove the connector to the car, and then we will take the computer and bring it onto a table. We will bend up the tabs, and we will take the circuit boards out of the clamshell. Then we'll be able to install the computer chip and then reverse the process and get the computer back in the car. All right, let's get the computer system out and go from there. All right, the computer is out of the car. Next, we're going to flip it over and we're going to get the computer circuitry boards out of this metal case. Now you're going to need a few tools. You're going to need some screwdrivers, needle nose pliers, and of course the Squadra chip. I can't remember if we have to remove the 4 screws or not. I just can't remember. So we're not going to do it now. We're just going to bend the tabs, get the computer opened up, and then see what we need to do from there. All right, I'm using just 2 different screwdrivers, this small one and then a kind of a larger one to help to pry the tabs open, or pry them up, a little bit. Now, from there, I'll take the needle nose pliers and finish bending them upward here. Just be careful, take your time. There's no rush. You have plenty of time to do this. You want to do it right the first time. So once I get all the tabs built or pulled up, then I'll be able to flip it around, and then we'll take the top half of the computer system apart, or we'll release more of the case itself, or the clamshell I call it. And then from there we'll be able to get the circuit board spread open so we can put the chip in. So there you go. I've got the top of the case off. Take the plastic cover, put that there so you know exactly where it goes, and then we'll be able to open up the circuit boards. All right, guys, flip the computer around. You'll see the 2 plastic tabs. Take your thumbs, push up, and then that will release them from their little connectors, not the ribbon connector, but the 2 little plastic posts that will be that will need to come apart so you can get the computer circuit board off. So here there's 2 black tabs over by the connector itself. You'll push down on those, and then you'll unfold the circuit board, and then they'll lay basically back to back against each other. All right, guys, we have got the circuit boards disconnected from each other. Well, the ribbon cable's still on, and we've folded them back to back. So that's the computer system. Pretty interesting. If you like to geek out on stuff like this, this is pretty cool. So now we got to work on removing that chip, that one right there, and we're going to put the Squadra chip in its place. Now, we'll show you step by step how to do this. This is where you need to be very, very careful. Take your time. There is no rush. There's not a race to get this done. You really have to basically pay attention to detail. So there's the Squadra chip there. And let me get it focused in here, and I'm going to show you where the notch is. The notch is going to be very, very important. All right, we'll get focused. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, that little notch right there, that means pin 1. So call it pin 1. That is crucial to where it goes on the circuit board. Now you'll see on the old chip that's in there, you'll see the notch there, and then it's even notched out on the printed side of the circuit board. So that's basically pin 1. That's where the orientation of the chip has to go. So please watch over that. That's very, very important. You don't want to fry anything. Okay, so we're going to take a small screwdriver and we're going to pry this chip out. Now this is, and then of course replace it with the Squadra chip. Now this is where I say attention to detail. Take your time. You're not in a race. Again, you do not want to mess this up. You get one shot at this. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just giving you the facts. Okay, so take the screwdriver, just gently pry up on one side, pry up on the other side, and then we'll come onto the opposite direction of the chip and do the same thing. Pry it up, and then what you're doing is you're just going to go back and forth, work it up, take your time, and then when it's done, you'll have help with your fingers, and you'll get it pulled away. So now there's the chip, and we're going to put that chip in the Squadra box, and you'll want to take it out, and of course hold it, and and don't lose it. So put it away in safe keepings. Okay. Now on the circuit board, you see the little area that the chip will go into, where we pull the other one out. Remember that notch. That notch is important because there's a notch on the circuit board, as you can see, so they got to match up. Take your time, make sure all the pins are lined up, y'all. I am telling you, you do not want to bend and break a pin, then this chip is useless. So just take your time, and then use your finger and work it around, and just push it in a little bit at a time, and just make sure that it's in. Once you feel like it's bottomed out in the holder, then you should be good to go. And I'm just double checking it. Pretty good. Now we're going to fold the circuit board back, get it in those two little notches at the front, and then the back side should just pop in place or clip in place. And then we do kind of the reverse order. We put the clamshell back on the computer and go from there, and then we'll get this thing back in the car. Don't forget the plastic cover goes on first, and then you're going to lay the clamshell, and you'll have to wiggle it around a little bit so all those tabs get in to its little safe spot, and then the clamshell should just fall right down, and you'll get it right. Then you'll probably want to pick up the computer, push it down, inspect to make sure all the tabs have come through the holes, which I'm doing here. And then what you're going to do from there is you're just going to kind of bend those tabs back. As you can see, I'm using my needle nose, and then the screwdriver, and then needle nose again. So again, just taking your time, put them, bend them back, just do all of those. Make sure that everything is tight and that it's not wiggling, because the last thing you want to do is any kind of metal to touch anything. That would be a really, really bad day. So let me get finished putting bending down these tabs and getting everything put in. And then we'll take the computer and we'll get it back in the car. All right, computer is in the car and connected. Now, that connector, it goes in from the front, and then you'll see a little groove that fits in, and then it will just kind of rotate down, and you'll feel it click into place. And then there's the two, I think they're 8mm nuts. They go on, and we're done. The computer system is back in the car. So before you put the partial shelf in and all that, let's get in the car, let's crank the car up, and let's make sure the car is running, take it for a spin, test it out, and then you can button everything up. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get this thing cranked up. There we go. got good oil pressure, voltage is good, everything looks good. So now let's go ahead, stop this beeping, let's go ahead now and take this thing for a spin and see what she does. Let's go take it for a spin. We're going to have to let it warm up just a little bit. But so far, no check engine light, nothing is on, so that's looking good. Temperature's starting to come up. It's been sitting idling for just a little while. We're about to see how this thing goes. I'm going to let her warm up. I do notice that that the throttle response seems to be better. I don't know about power. Again, we're not going to win a drag race. That's not what this chip is about. This chip is more about how the car reacts a little bit better. Again, fills the gaps in some on it. So I'm in 5th gear now. I'm running about 3 grand. I'm a little close to 60 miles an hour. So just again, letting the car warm up, get the oil up to temperature, the water up to temperature, get everything just going right. But I can tell you, I have noticed that the throttle response is definitely better. Much better. So again, just letting things get up to temp. Once we get onto the next street, we'll be able to kind of open her up some and kind of see what it feels like a little bit. So again, just a little over 30 or 3,000 RPMs, running right at 60 here in 5th gear, climbing the hill in 5th gear, and I'm maintaining speed coming up this hill, which I could not do in 5th gear the last time. I always had to drop her down a gear, so that's good. So it feels like it's pulling the hill good in 5th. So we'll just we'll get up here. We're going to hang a left. Oops, got to press the clutch in. All right. First initial hit, I got up to about 6,000 RPMs. Oh, also the rev limiter should go from 6,500 to 68, so really closer to 7 grand. It definitely feels a little bit peppier. I mean, again, it's not like if you chip a high performance vehicle in today's standards, right? 2022, 2023, something like that, where you're putting a different chip in it or programming the computer differently. It's not that kind of response. It's filling, like I want to call it, filling in the gaps a little bit. So temperature's getting up now. Hit 3rd. Yeah, there is definitely a difference in the car. It just feels more alive. Not that it's any quicker or any faster, but it just feels more alive. I had to slow down, so I got a car in front of me. But I'm going to say that this may be as advertised by Squadra. It definitely makes the car seem a little bit more alive, for sure. Most definitely. I think what we're going to do is we're going to pull this big hill up by the garage, near the garage, and I'll be able to pull that hill and see how well it goes, because again, the last time I pulled it, you know, you're gearing down some on this car to get the power. Again, this car has come a long way from the moment that we got it, from the VVT solenoid not working. It was just stuck, need to be lubed a little bit, and it's working fine now, to the U-joint, to the vacuum leaks. You should have been up to see that video. It's already out, to just a little other things. I put new plugs in it, had the wrong plugs in it. So everything looks it looks and feels and drives. Everything drives much better now. The chip is just kind of the cherry on the top, the icing on the cake. It's the fill in the gaps performance slightly. You know, I think for the price of the chip, you have to make that decision. I think the chips are like $200, I think, or something like that. So you have to make that decision for yourself as to if it makes sense for you to put that into your Spider. But she's idling great. She seems to idle smooth. Get it up in second gear. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with, this is definitely an increase in performance. On third gear now. Yeah, this thing is, that was 80. I just shifted into fourth, or I'm in fourth gear, that was at 80 miles an hour. Oh, we're also in Mexico. Remember that. So yeah, it definitely seems to be a little more peppier. You know, the computer's probably going to learn a little bit with the new tune, or really I say tune, it's probably just mapping, it's just fuel mapping is all this is, if I had to guess, which is most of what you see on these computer, you know, chips and stuff. So we got a big hill we're gonna climb. I just kind of want to see how that goes. I want to pull in a gas station and get some gas. I'll end it at the gas station and then catch back up with you at the garage, and then we'll wrap the video up. But I'll let you along for the ride when we climb up this hill. So I'm in second gear now. Okay, I'm in third. I'm behind about 5 or 6 cars. I'm running close to 3 grand, right at 30 miles an hour, backing on and off. So, but I'm in third and I'm pulling it, and it's gaining in third. Usually if I'm running this slow in this car, I would be in second gear. I'm coming into fourth gear now. You know, we still got one more part of the hill to climb. We're coasting downhill a little bit. And I'm not quite sure why I'm giving you the play-by-play here in front of me. I guess because you can't see it. But I'm in fourth gear now, and this thing is pulling up the hill. I can't go too fast because I got cars in front of me. But now I'm hitting my brakes. But I'm going to say this is a success. Again, the chip's around a couple of $100, maybe like $212. I don't know why I think it's $212. But something like that. So I'm gonna pull in here and get some gas at the gas station here because I need some, and then I'll catch you back at the garage. All right, guys, and there you have it. We showed you how to take the computer out, put the chip in, put everything back in the car. We test drove the car. I gave you my opinions of the chip and the performance, and we're back here. It's all nice and tucked away, top up, ready for another day's adventure. So I will have to say, I absolutely, again, just a recap, absolutely love the chip. I noticed more throttle response, and I noticed how the RPMs kind of climb quicker. So especially when I was going from second to third gear, there was always that lag in the RPMs, and it took a little while for it to build back up. This one seems to have gone up a little bit quicker. Again, we're not going to win drag races. That's not what this is about. This is about just to kind of take the edge off a little bit of the car and fill in the gaps a little bit and just make it a little easier to drive and not having to hunt through the gears all the time. And I really do believe Squadra got that right. Again, they're not sponsoring this video. This is, I purchased the chip myself. I purchased it again. I had a good friend of mine, Tommy, that told me I needed it in the car. And I've driven his car in the past, and it definitely felt different than what this one did. So adding this chip in really, really changed the way this car, the response of the car. I'm not gonna say the performance, but more the response. Okay, so I appreciate you coming along on this journey. We're gonna do some more videos, do some really cool things with the Spider. Again, right on above me is the GTV. We're gonna work on that some more coming up. Got a few videos in the works on that one. And then sitting in front of me is a Porsche 911 GTS. We're going to be doing some more videos on that. So please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It definitely helps our channel out. And until the next video, God bless.